is it possible for someone to be either physically or medically prevented from executing a plan, even though they've like successfully designed the environment for the plan to work?
I think it's absolutely, I mean, the whole point of a plan, I guess for me, I am not a proponent of like a structured meal plan or a diet or a structured, in the sense that it's, the whole thing is I don't know your body like you do, and you don't know my body like I do. Now, obviously we can have some goals and some certain things, but I mean, and if you have certain medical issues, like that's totally, like the whole point of intuitive eating is to listen to your body and to ask yourself, how do I want to feel? How can I best nourish and satisfy my body right now? And so, and they're definitely like, you can set your environment. Now, one thing with the whole redesigning your environment, I will kind of point out. So a lot of people who struggle with binge eating, their go-to is to just not buy the food. Like, just, I won't buy the food. I won't let it in the house. I won't do like, cause if I let it in the house, then I'm going to have to eat it all. And that was totally me. And that's where I would kind of talk about redesigning the way you think about food. I highly recommend the book Intuitive Eating. It changed my life. And one of the concepts they talk about was making peace with food, especially with the holidays, because the more that you make a food forbidden, or as I used to call them, no stop foods, or the more you kind of tell yourself, I can't have this thing, the more you're going to think about it, the more you're going to want it, the more you're going to crave it. And so when I say redesign in that sense, I don't mean that it can't be in the house or you can't ever have it again. But I do think there's not really a reason for it to be like right in the most obvious, like right in front of you all the time. Like that's not really like for any sort of habit, if you want a habit, a good habit to start, you want to make it as easy, obvious, and convenient. If you want to make another habit hard, or if you want to stop a bad habit, you need to add friction. And so you can be that, like social media, if you're struggling with social media, delete the apps from your phone. That adds some friction. If you are tired, if watching television is an issue, hide the remote. If, eating certain foods, maybe just, it's not that you can't have them, but just make it a little bit more difficult so you have to think about it. Or in my program, we have an app where you take a picture of your food before eating, just because it adds a little friction, a little bit more, it makes you a little bit more conscious before choosing to eat.